just doesn't seem like the right color for the living room. I think it might clash with that visible rose bush she has outside the window. I suppose I could just tell her to tear that out, maybe replace it with the nice lilac bush, maybe. Yeah, she's got a lot of spring tones going on, so I think that would work with what she has going on in the room. Oh my, I am so terribly sorry. Hold on just 1 second. Okay, sorry. I am so sorry I didn't see you. I was a bit wrapped up, with another client. Welcome to the Color Consultant. My name is Cosmo, and how can I help you today? Oh, okay. Yes, you called about making an appointment earlier this week, right? Is that correct? Yeah, okay. Yeah, perfect. Yeah, I remember you. Yeah, you were looking for a color consultation regarding paints and fabrics. Right? Yeah, it was for your new home? Great. Well, firstly, congratulations. That is such an exciting moment. It's always so special moving into a new space, isn't it? Yeah. But a bit overwhelming, right? Yeah, it can be a bit much when you move into a new house, making it feel like your own. I very much understand, and that's what I'm here to help you with today. I'm sorry if I'm a little bit frazzled, but it's been a bit of a day, and you caught me off guard. I gotta keep track of my appointments better. But you are right here in the book. I should have seen you. I am going to help you pick out colors for your home today. Colors are very important for creating the atmosphere you want in your home. From the color of your couch to the color of your bedroom walls, it is important to create a space that makes you feel comfortable and content in, as well as a nice space to entertain guests. Yeah, to show them a great time in a warm and inviting place that complements your tastes and gives the guests a glimpse into your artistic and creative mind. Yeah. It is a wonderful and special thing. Yeah. It's where you make memories and form your own personality. Your home is essential. And I'm here to help it make it feel like it's truly yours. Now, if you're ready, why don't we get into that? Yeah. There are a few steps and, just a few things we have to do before we can fully get started. But we will start with color swatches, which I have over here. And I'm going to put them near your face so that we can get an idea of what colors you look best in and around. Yeah, that isn't always essential for home colors, but I often say that a person should look good in their own home. Yeah. Then afterwards, we will look at the house layout you emailed me earlier, which I should have. Hold on. I might have to print that out, but that's okay. And we'll go over the colors together for your home. Okay? Perfect. Yeah, then we can also pick fabrics and such for your furniture and curtains. Does that sound good? Excellent. Well, I will be right back with the proper color swatches, and we can go over some of those colors, okay? Just to determine what tones you look best in. Okay, excellent. Hold on tight, and I'll be right back. Okay. Oh, you moved a little closer. Thank you. Yeah, I'm gonna need that to put these near your face. You just relax. Okay. Yeah, I peg you as a warmer tone. Probably a... Probably more of an autumn or a summer. What do you think about these colors? That's also important. Okay. That's good. Okay. Let me just get a better look here. I'm just gonna put them right next to your face. Yeah, I really like these colors on you. I'm gonna grab this summer one as well. Hold on just a second. Okay. Alright. Got the summer tones as well. I'm just gonna put those right next to your face. Okay. Interesting. Yeah, you look good in these as well. Definitely warmer. Yeah, I'm liking the summer and I'm liking the fall quite a bit. Definitely like a fall, autumn, summer. So that might not matter at all. If you want specific colors in mind and you don't want to sacrifice those, that's okay. This is just a good way to get some color ideas started. Yeah. I'm really liking these. Okay, so why don't you follow me to my desk and we can go over the colors for your house, okay? Perfect. Follow me. So I got this printed out. This is the floor plan that you sent me. And I was having a look around. Oh, by the way, beautiful home. Absolutely gorgeous. I can tell just by looking at this. Great layout. Plenty of space. room here. Staircase going upstairs. Looks like another hallway going into where most of your living space is. So I think what I want to focus on first, because it's simple, is bedrooms. Looks like we have at least three bedrooms. This looks like your master bath or bedroom, and then you have two other bedrooms here. And I'm assuming you have people who will be residing in these bedrooms. Do you have children or family or... Okay, perfect. So it sounds like you're saying that most of these will be either guest bedrooms or... Okay. Yeah, no, that makes sense. So one of these, you're gonna go with one of these as a guest, and then one of these is for... Okay, that totally makes sense. You also have a study, or office space. Is this something you're going to be wanting to figure out as well? Like, come up with color? Okay, great. These are just important things to get out of the way. So, let's start with bedrooms. I'm assuming you will be taking the master bedroom? Okay, perfect. That totally makes sense. Very, considering it's your home. So that means we should also go into, we'll just deal with this section first. We'll do your bedroom, and then this is your master bathroom. And so first, what were you thinking for the bedroom? Did you have any ideas already? Okay, that makes sense. That's very, very fair. Sometimes we don't have everything figured out, but you are thinking more of a warmer tone, correct? Okay, so I have this Sherwin-Williams paint swatch fan that we use because Sherwin-Williams is the main company that we use for paint. You can use anyone, but these just give you a good idea of the color you're probably looking for, like closest to. So I'm going to show you a few of these, a few that I'm really thinking would look wonderful in your bedroom there. If you're looking for slightly warmer colors, we're going to go to the warmer section, which is probably this half more so. We've got some bit more of a warmer color scheme. So, first of all, just showing you this, just like this. Is there anything here that you're already like, whoa, this really jumps out at me? Okay. You're actually liking the coral. Interesting choice. Okay. So, we do have the ravishing coral color. But if you are looking for something a little lighter, the jovial is also very nice. And you could also, if you're looking for something a little deeper, darker, you could go for the quiet coral. Or quite. Sorry. Read that wrong. I always get those mixed up. It's just the E and the T. They just swap. Anyway. Quite coral. Ravishing coral. Jovial. You could go with this one too. I feel like for me I tend to go either I'm gonna go like dark or I'm gonna go, a little lighter. This is kind of the in-between color, but if this is what you're into, you kind of like you like the quite coral. I also enjoy that. Okay, so I'm actually just going to, if it's okay with you, is this what we're thinking right this second? Okay, I'm going to write that down just so that I can remember. I'm just going to write down the number. you're going for this color in your bedroom, I would recommend something that's a little bit more, well, I would say that complements this color. You could even go just a lighter shade. In this same color tone, you could do something like the Coral Kicks for the bathroom. That would be like one of my recommendations. We could also look through here. You could go with like a cream, like this one's creamery, sociable. If you were looking for something a little more in the yellow category, honey blush is very, very nice. We actually have quite a few people pick honey blush. It's a pretty popular color right now. We also, if you were looking for something, again, kind of more in the coral tone, maybe peach fuzz, I often recommend lighter colors for bathrooms because bathrooms tend to be small. So you want lighter colors which tend to make them feel a little bit bigger. Whereas dark colors tend to shrink spaces. Now, that's not always the case, but it often is, especially in already small spaces. Now, I personally am a fan of the peach fuzz color. I think that would complement your white coral, peach fuzz white coral. I think that would look very nice together. Okay, alright. I can definitely write that one down. Oh my goodness, my pen's just going everywhere. SW. We'll keep that one as a potential. How does that sound? 6. Okay, perfect. 3, 4, 4. Okay, and that's bath. Okay. Yeah, no, that's definitely, I like your choices. Okay, so that being said, we have now figured out what you want to do in your bedroom. See, it's really not that hard. And one of the things I will also say is, a lot of people these days, they really go for what we call the millennial gray, millennial beige. Beiges, grays, boring colors. I personally am a fan of real color. I think that it's really how you show your personality. And like I said, grays and beiges, they're very in right now. They're very, very in. And I just find them to be so boring, so drab. They don't inspire anything. They're depressing. So when I see you pick colors like that, I can tell you're a fun person. You want to experiment, which is great. I very much appreciate that. And I respect it. So what are we thinking for the next bedroom? This one is the guest, you said? Okay, that's good. Okay. So before we go looking into this, because this is huge, I think we should definitely look for, a spring tone would be very nice in this bedroom. Spring tones are very inviting. They're usually quite, they bring an atmosphere of life and even joy, happiness. So like when somebody walks into a bedroom that's spring colors, it is, they get a sense of like new possibilities, youth, happiness. Spring colors are just very nice. So what I want us to look at, I actually have, let me see here, I've got this small color swatch here, and I just thought maybe we could look at a couple of the spring tone colors. And if you have anything that immediately jumps out at you, you let me know. I'm just going to get the fan out for you so you can kind of see every color. Well, see some of them. I don't know why this spring one does not like to fold out correctly. There's a couple of them. So I would personally, just to say it, and this is just advice, that's what the consultation is for. I think something more in a lighter green might really complement this room. Now granted, you could go for something more of like an emerald turquoise, but green is such a nice color. It's a happy color. It's an inviting color. And when people are staying over at your house, they want to feel happy. They want to feel invited. They want to feel content. And I tend to find that green is a good color for that. Especially more vibrant or brilliant greens, turquoises, things like that. So, let me see if I can get that. This thing does not like to. I apologize, but the fan is terrible. I need to get a new set of these, but, you know. Now, if you are also going for something a little bit less, well, maybe what you could do is green fabric furniture, green bedspreads, and then you could do something like a brown, and that would almost give like a foresty, outdoorsy look. No? Okay, that's very understandable. But are you still thinking the green maybe, or were you having some other ideas? Okay, you wanted to look at... So we have like blues and purples. Interesting, okay. No, I don't disagree with that necessarily. Those are also very nice. They're royal colors, especially purples. So in the spring we have the bright periwinkle violet shades. Do any of those seem okay? The violet. Okay, alright. Okay, let's take a look at that. No, I think that has high potential to be really, really beautiful. So then what we're going to do is I'm going to get the paint fan here. We're going to find our purples. Alright, so we have our purples. And, you know, there's quite a few different purples here to choose from. We have the African violet, which is in the violet shade. It is a little dark. We also have, in the lighter purples, we have inspired lilac. Potentially purple. I like this one. We have wisteria, forever lilac. Oh, you like this one. Okay, hold on. Alright, so you're into the forever lilac color. Okay, no, yeah, that's a great color. Let me show you though the swatch that we have, just to make sure you are thinking about that. I think this is the one, if I'm not mistaken. Okay, so this is the violet, and then this is your forever lilac right here. This is that. And I'll bring them up to you just a little bit closer. You can kind of take a look here at what we got going on. What do you think? Okay, perfect. No, that's great. Alright, I like it. You are adventurous, and you're not afraid to tell me what you want, which I also very much appreciate, because, you know, it's my job as a consultant to give you ideas and to push you in certain ways, but at the end of the day, this is your decision, and I want you to be happy with it. So, I'm going to write down that in my little booklet here. And then in guest. Okay, perfect. I just need to make sure, and we'll again go over this again probably. So, next we can move into this bedroom. Your one. And so what color were they thinking? You said that you thought they might have an idea. Oh, they were thinking green. That's why you didn't want to do this one, green. Okay, that totally makes sense. And what in the green category were you? Like, how dark? How light? I have some absolutely gorgeous autumn greens that I think would look just wonderful. These are just general, right? We have light moss, which I really, really like light moss. This one's very nice. We have lime, which is a bit more of a yellowish green. Emerald green is also one of my favorite greens. It's just very dark. Okay, though you are kind of thinking more along the lines of the emerald. You know, some people like dark colors in their bedrooms. You know, like some people enjoy the cave aspect. So let me just pull up some greens for you to look at. If I can find them, of course. That's always the challenge, is it not? And you were thinking darker, right? Not as yellow, correct? Okay. Not this one. Yeah, I think we'll probably want to go more in this direction then, if that's what you're thinking. So these would be the few swatches I would recommend personally. Would be these. So we have, if we're looking for darker greens, I actually personally, my recommendation would be Green Field. But you could also do Garden Grove. It's also very nice. And if you're looking for something a little more warm, you could go with these Paradise, Gecko. Okay. You like the Green Field? Green Field. That's this one. Yeah, this is a nice neutral. It's pretty neutral. It's a little on the warmer side, but I like this one. Green Field is great. Okay, great. We can do that. That's very, very simple. Let me just write that down. Just make sure I got the correct 6439394. Technically not a guess, but it sounds like they stay with you a lot. Okay. Perfect. Yeah, I'm sorry. This thing also leaves a bunch of like paper pieces, little paper slivers all over the place. I've had it for quite a long time and it still doesn't. I don't know. I don't understand it. Okay. Perfect. So we've moved on from that. Now, the other thing would be the bathrooms. Do we want the bathrooms to be different colors, or do we want to just keep both the bathrooms the same? These are really not important. These are just for your guests who will barely ever be here to stay. Well, sounds like maybe not this one. But they might want, I don't know if they have color preferences for either of these, or if you do. Yeah, definitely. We can go. So let me show you. Let me show you some like simpler colors that are like we could do like buff. Again, it doesn't have to be. It could be very simple, like kind of a off-white even. I could show you some off-whites. Let's show you a couple like more of the off-white or tan even, a bit more the beigey or gray. Again, those colors have their place. So sometimes. Oh, okay. Yeah, no, that's very good. So you're looking for more of the like these colors. Okay. Yeah, I personally, I am more into the alluring whites, the interactive green, the lightest, basically, when it comes to these. Because these bathrooms are very, very tiny. But you can choose whatever you're thinking. Interesting. Okay. You like the bagel. I mean, with a name like bagel, names, I often say, are almost as important as the colors. You want to be able to tell people what color you picked for your walls, and it's fun to be able to say something like bagel. Okay, so I'm going to write that one down as well. So we're going to do both of those in bagel, correct? Okay, perfect. I love that. No, that's great. Okay, now on to the harder ones. No, this is the harder one for sure. So it looks like you have balconies. These are balconies because it's showing you both floors. Am I correct? Oh, interesting. Okay. So you're saying that we're actually doing your... Okay, so we still have your downstairs to work. Oh, okay. You want to work on that a different day. No, that makes sense. This is honestly like the easier, So when you say this is the living room, this is almost like where people will gather, like guests and such, when you have people over. My goodness, this is a big house. Okay. Alright, understandable. Now I very much understand what this is now. Okay, so then in that case, you're going to be having a view of the balcony from here. You're going to be having a view of the outside. What kind of outdoors do you have? Do you got a lot of foliage, a lot of trees? Okay, so we want to incorporate the colors coming in from the outside into our space, if that makes sense. We want this, because we have so many windows. You got a window here, and then you have a balcony opening with looks like a double door going out to this balcony. We really want to incorporate the colors that you're going to be seeing on the outside into what we're looking at on the inside. Again, when you have like one or two smaller windows, that's really not a big deal. But when you have a space where you're going to be having a lot of people, right? You want to try to incorporate everything. You want the experience to be cohesive. So, I am highly recommending a green, a brown, maybe even a yellow of some kind if you're looking for something a little brighter. Okay. So what kind of trees do you have around the property? Oh, okay. So you have things more in the pine tree. Okay, color, which, I would definitely, let me see, do I have any? I don't have anything here. I'm gonna grab my winter swatch here, which we can look at for greens. That could be interesting. Could potentially be an option if that was something. It's just always nice to pull them all out so that you can get options, have as many options as you can. One of the ones that I would definitely say, if you were interested, would be something more in the emerald or true green category. Again, it's not an essential, but the true green or emerald green. This is a pretty big space. If you wanted to go darker, I wouldn't say no. What do you think? You wanted to go for something more in the emerald green category? Okay, I love it. Let's see here. I think, personally, and we already have something with green field. If you want my opinion, going with this courtyard would look fabulous. Yeah. Alright, we're gonna do it. It's settled. No need to check for anything else. We already made our decision, which is great. 40. Sorry, this one I don't actually know off the top of my living. Okay. Perfect. Wonderful. Alright, so then we only have a couple other ones to look at. Unless you had very specific things, very specific options that you were... Okay, so the study you said you wanted to be a brown. Okay, well, I'm just going to pull the browns out for you then, and you can just look at those, because not really any reason to goof around with that too much if you already have a very solid idea in your head. So these are common office colors. A lot of these. If you are looking for something more in the brown, maybe the Rookwood clay would be an option. Yeah, this is Victorian style more, but it goes very well with office colors. Okay, yeah, you like that? Okay, perfect. And so then what were we thinking for the hallway? Neutral. Okay, something more neutral. Gotcha. We could just do, like, grays. We have a lot of these. And, I mean, these are technically our... This is just a gray we use to show you how... This is our high gloss medium, but if you like this gray, we could also go with a gray. Okay, hold on. Let me pull up the grays then. Yep. Maybe something like this drift of mist. We could also do gray clouds. It's a little darker. No, you're thinking more in the drift of mist category. So if I flip over to this one, we can also go, this is warmer, it's a little cooler. I actually like the warmer. Okay, you like the drift of mist? I'm going to write that down as well. I also have to write down the other one that we decided for the study. So study, we're going to go with, it was 6. And that is for study. And then SW 91664. Okay. Perfect. Awesome. Great. And I actually think that gets us through everything that we need to deal with up here today. I apologize for not realizing this was your upstairs. Though it sounds like you were kind of confused. No, it's okay. We're in a new house, so you don't have to know it. I should know. It's okay. Okay, so that's all done. You did a great job. Let me grab the fabric swatch booklet I have, and we can look at some fabrics real quick, okay? I know it's running a little long, so I don't want you to have to be here too long, but we're going to look at that just to see if we have some ideas, okay? Perfect. Okay. So here's some of our fabric swatches for furniture. We have lots of different colors, of course. Not as many as we do paints, but, you know, fabrics just have to complement the colors that you currently have. They don't necessarily have to be the end-all be-all. So I am definitely sensing we have a lot of green. We have a lot of warmer, natural tones coming into your house. I would definitely recommend something along this line of green. This is just recommendations. I'm not telling you what to do. You can choose whatever you want. But I very much like this green. It kind of goes with a lot of the colors I think that you picked. You could could also go with this color, which is more of like a, well, it is a light green. Looks very nice. And then, of course, you really can't go wrong with grays and beiges because they're neutral. They tend to go with a lot of things. But I do know that you went full-on purple. So if you were interested in like a dark purple, like this one right here, you definitely could. Like you can actually see it almost looks black, but it's not. It's a dark, deep purple. You could also, again, these are all very solid options. And again, totally up to you. But we have, this is more of a white. It's actually a slight off-white. We have a light gray, darker gray. This is like our medium. Then dark gray and black. After that, we can flip this page over to here. We can start looking at some of these other colors. These are more of like pinks, skin toned. And honestly, these I don't know. I think other than maybe something like this for your own bedroom, because you do have the coral, but I would almost say something more along this line for the coral. I'm not sure any of these really work. If you wanted maybe something like this for the purple, it's also a very solid and could be very beautiful option. But again, it's up to you. So, if you have any of these that automatically are striking a chord with you, and like you're very interested, then you can let me know. We also have a lot of these, and I didn't show you these, but these are also kind of whites that then go to more of a beige. You like these? Yeah, okay. These are honestly very popular because they just kind of go with a lot of things we have going on, and they definitely go with a lot of what you have going on. I could see something like this, maybe this color right here, or Fab 12, going very well with a lot of what you have going on. Yeah, okay. Perfect. Alright, well, you can let me know. You can let me know if any of that is interesting to you, if you have any, if you decide. I know you probably have to talk to people. But I actually think for our first consultation, that went very well. I think, let me just make sure there's not anything else I'm missing. I think we have all of the, yeah, okay. I have that in my notes. I will send you home with this booklet. You can look at it. I will always also email you all the colors that you picked out, so maybe you can look. I could also hand you some, we have samples of each color if you wanted to look at those. And, yeah, I think that's basically it. I think we're done. Good job. You did absolutely wonderfully. And so this is your upstairs. Now I can write that down and make sure I know that. And I get it. You probably wanted to do the upstairs first to make sure that it all went well before you go doing the main downstairs, right? Yeah, exactly. This makes sense. These are rooms that won't get used very much. A living room that won't get used quite as much. Office maybe. But then of course your bedroom. That's a pretty big and important one. But you're here with me, so we worked our way through that. And I think you picked out some excellent colors. Alright, well let's head back to the desk, and I will get you out of here and on your merry way. Okay? Perfect. Wonderful. Alright. I think that was a very successful and hopefully enjoyable first consultation. Would you not agree? I'm really glad you feel that way as well. It's my job to help you make your dreams come true. Yeah. I think we made some good progress here. And now, if you want to schedule another appointment, a follow-up, we can get that in our books. Go over the colors for tile, flooring, trim, even outdoor floral decor. Would you be interested in that? Perfect. Okay. Let me get that in the books. Does the same time of the day and the same day of the week work for you? Perfect. Okay. Excellent. Looks like I have an opening in the next 3 weeks. Do you want me to pencil you in for that? And you can see how the painting and redecorating goes first with this first consultation. Okay, that's exactly what I'll do then. Yeah, okay, I think we're all set. It was a pleasure serving you today, and I hope you have a good time redecorating. I'll see you in 3 weeks, hopefully. Alright. Bye-bye. Now, where did I put those swatches?